create your best possible about page with the help of your clients. Now, I do get a bit overexcited about this, so forgive me if I bang on a bit. Feel free to interrupt. If Zoom is going to play ball, we're going to start with a poll. But I want to give you a heads up about what I'm going to ask you and what the possible answers would be before I launch it. Okay. So this is the question. So are you seeing a slide that says, why do you have an about page on your website? You're not seeing that? Okay, let's try this. Better? Good. Okay. So I'm going to show you what the possible answers are for the poll. Now, responses are completely anonymous. Okay, so don't be embarrassed about what you're going to put here. Nobody will know what you've put. Try and go with your gut feeling as to which answer you select. Okay. And as I say, try and be honest. Okay, so these are the possible answers to that question. Because everyone else has one, so you have to have one. I mean, it's pretty standard, isn't it? Everybody that's got a website has got an about page or an about section if they've got one of those websites that has everything on one page. Everybody's got something like this, so obviously you've got to have one, right? Okay, so that's one possible answer. Another possible answer is it's a chance to repeat what you've already got on your services page. So basically your sales pitch. So you could actually just repeat that, okay? C, is it because you want to help prospective clients work out whether you're the right supplier for them? Okay. D is to attract the type of clients that you'll love working with. And there's an option E, something else. If you can think of something else, that's fine. Just select E and I'll give you a chance to share what you think in the chat thread later. So I'm going to have a go at launching the poll. Okay. Are people seeing the poll? Oh, yay. Oh, my word. Yes, it's all coming through. Good. Lovely. Lovely. By the way, none of these answers are exactly wrong. And some of them overlap. It'll just give us a bit of an idea where we're going with this. It looks like I might be preaching to the converted here a little bit, but that's fine. I'm good with that. Okay, so that's 73% of you have answered. I don't know how that works that out. By the way, anyone who's a co-host won't be able to answer this, I don't think. Zoom stops you replying if you're a co-host, so don't panic if that's what's happening for you. Okay, that's 84%. Okay. 89%. Who's not answered yet? 94%. One more to go. I think we might end it there actually, in case somebody's stopped to get a drink or something. Right, I'm going to end the poll there, and then I'm going to share the results. Okay, yeah, so it does look like I am very largely preaching to the converted there, which is good. I like it. I like that you're all on board with that. I'm very intrigued to find out what the something else's are. So if you feel comfortable doing that, if you actually put something else as your answer and you feel like sharing it in the chat, do have a go at that. So let's have a look. What have we got? Ah, nice one, Natalie. Yes, to show people who you really are and what your values align with. I think we're very much on the same wavelength there. Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, Tamara, yeah, what's in it for them working with us? Yeah. you've got to be focused on the benefits to the person that's reading the page, which is quite a tricky thing to do when, as I'll say later, your about page is about you. And while you might have heard that, you don't want to be talking about yourself too much on any other page on your website, on this page, on your about page, you have to. Because as Rishi says, people need to be able to relate to who you are. Okay. So we're going to crack on, and despite the fact that you're all very much on board with this, I'm going to just have a quick talk about motivation. Okay. Why should you care about what's on your about page or your LinkedIn about section or other social media profile? You all deserve the best clients, the ones you'll love working with. And your about page is your chance to attract and connect with just exactly those clients. Okay, this is a big thing. This is what you're looking to do. Connect with clients who are good to work with. Not the ones that are a pain in the neck to work with, the ones that are good to work with. The ones that suit you. Quick, very basic example. If you want more clients from the green energy sector, here's the place to showcase your own business's environmental credentials, right? And your personal, that's important, your personal commitment to green energy. So, reason number two, understanding what makes you tick helps your website visitors decide if you're what they're looking for. It will give them the confidence to get in touch, and there's a little trick you can use here. Do include a nice smiley photograph of yourself, or if you're really embarrassed about that, or if you've already got your photograph in the footer of your website, like I have on mine, maybe an illustration that tells people something about you, okay? And that something might be, for example, that you love cats, okay? That might be what you're looking at. Yep, I had a very small kitten when I wrote that website. Why should you care? Reason number three. So your about page is the second most visited page on your website. It's also the ones your visitors will spend most time on. So you've got their attention for longer than usual. If you don't make that count, you are wasting space. And that's the sort of thing that makes me break down and cry when I see that happening. Okay? So don't make me break down and cry, okay? So how are we going to do this? This is one way you can approach making a really successful about page, right? There's 3 steps. Mostly very easy, maybe a little bit time consuming, but it's really worth doing. Step number 1, collect a good range of client testimonials. Now, I prefer to ask a really open question, like, for example, what's it like working with me? Now, the reason I do that is because you are likely to get some surprises if you ask an open question. If you sort of lead your clients as to what you want to hear, you're not really going to get any surprises. Hopefully, the surprises you get will be good ones, but you're not going to get that many surprises. What can you do if you've just started out and you haven't yet got, a good range of clients? You can sort of offer to do a little bit of work for someone for free in return for a testimonial, for example. That's what I did when I was starting out in 2014. Or there's another tip. You can ask your co-collaborators and co-workers this question as well. This is also worth doing. So if, for example, you're a copywriter and you work with a web developer, for example, you have joint projects that, or a marketing person, you have joint projects, you've got the same customer, you can ask your co-collaborators what it's like working with you. And you might get some quite similar answers from both clients and co-workers. So that's worth doing as well. If you've already got loads of good testimonials, just gather them together in one file or folder. and do that anyway. Gather all this stuff together, put it in one file, print it out and put it up on the screen, and then you go to step 2. You read through all these with a highlighter pen or pointer on your system, and you highlight all the common words and phrases from those testimonials that appear regularly. So not necessarily identical words, but words that mean basically the same thing, okay? So, you know, it might be reliable, creative, friendly, keeps me informed about the project process, all that kind of stuff, right? You're also looking for words and phrases that emphasize your USP, the qualities you want to be known for. So anything that backs up what you say about yourself is going to be useful. So highlight all that stuff, right? Step 3. Oh, quick tip first. Focus on the testimonials from the clients you've loved working with. If you get a great testimonial that's from somebody who made you want to tear your hair out and throw your PC out the window, don't include that testimonial, even if it's a good one, because you don't want to attract more of that particular client. I'll give you an example. Somebody I was writing about, page 4, had loads of brilliant testimonials, and lots of them really emphasized how totally patient she was with them when they were being difficult or changing their minds. So I said to her, do you actually want to have more clients that require 60 tons of patience? And she said, no. So I said, take that word out, use the rest of the testimonial, take that word out, because you're just asking for trouble. Somebody's going to read that and go, oh, great, I can really mess her around and she won't mind. Don't do it, okay? So step 3, this is the critical one. This is where you start actually writing. Use the language of your favorite clients in your copy. So what that's going to do, that is going to speak directly to and attract people who speak the same language. This is the little bit of gold, right? You've got to try and weave these keywords seamlessly into your own copy, and that's not the easy bit, as Natalie will no doubt agree. That is not the easy bit, okay? If you get into trouble with this, give me a shout. I'll see if I can help. But give it your best shot and see what happens. Then when you're writing, you can use short, and I do mean short, excerpts from your testimonials as quotes to back up what you say about yourself. Keep this short and sweet. You'll have your full testimonial somewhere else most likely. So just have little snippets here. You don't need much, okay? But just use them in the place that backs up what you're saying about yourself, okay? So, quick summary. Let's go with this. 1, ask your clients a simple, open question. What's it like working with me? That's more or less the easy bit. Don't forget to include your co-workers in that process. Identify the words and phrases that are repeated in their responses, along with the copy that backs up your USP professional qualities. I'm going to just backtrack a little bit on section 1 because there's a little story I want to tell you here, which is that when I did this myself, at step 1, I got quite a surprise, and you might get a surprise too, because there was something that I was doing which I took for granted and that I assumed that everybody in my business did for all of their clients. And actually, when the testimonials started coming back in, they all mentioned this particular thing. I thought, well, hang on a minute, doesn't everybody do that? And apparently they don't. So there might be something that you are taking for granted that you do that is just absolutely, brilliant. And you're just missing it because you think it's ordinary, because you're good at it, basically. Okay, so hopefully you'll get some nice surprises when you do this. So that was step 1. Step 2, you know what you're doing here. You're going with your highlighter pen. You're copying down all the bits and pieces that are repeated. So they tell you that this is something your clients value in you, and that you're looking for information that backs up what you want to sell, basically. Okay, my system, here we go. And so you've got all the data, you write your page using the keywords from your favorite clients in the copy. And that is what's going to attract the right people to your services. Okay. A couple of bonus tips for you for writing a brilliant about page. Tip number 1, be personal. We talked about this earlier on when we did the poll. You want to help readers build a picture of what you like to work with. And if you're shy about this, remember, if someone's opened your about page, it's because they want to know about you. Okay, you can weave in, while you're doing that, you can weave in how you're going to help them, what benefits are to them, but you're going to be subtle with that. It's not going to be a repeat of your sales pitch, okay? They want to read about you. Try not to be shy. Tip number 2, make the page easy to read. And now this applies to all your website pages, every single one of them. Use short sentences and paragraphs. Include plenty of subheadings. This is really useful for people who are skim reading and who are looking for something in particular that will help them find that. Google is also quite keen on subheadings. Make sure that those subheadings mean something. And use graphics or images to break up text. So in terms of typography, you could have your snippets of testimonials in a different typeface or color. And I'm going to diverge here to say, please do not put long testimonials or indeed any paragraphs of anything all in italics. I know it's a standard to put your testimonials in italics, but it's more difficult to read than standard typeface. You're okay with just a few words, or the name of the person in italics. Don't put a huge long testimonial in italics. If you absolutely have to, because your graphics designer says it looks awesome and you think you should be using this typeface, make sure you bump up the size of the typeface. Okay. So before we move on to your questions, I've got a question for you, and I'm going to do it again via a poll. So we'll see what happens next. See if Zoom's going to throw anything else at me. This is the question: are you happy that your about page is doing its best for your business? Okay, so I'm going to find the second poll. That's launching now. So you've got 2 possible answers. Yes, I've got it covered. Hey, I'm not sure. I'm going to review my web page very soon. Oh, lovely. Excellent. I've got 63% answered, 68% answered. Yay. Oh, good stuff. 84%. 89%, 94%, gaining quite a good picture here. Yeah. That's grand. That's made me very happy. That's made me very happy indeed. Let's just share the results. There you go. Congratulations to the people that have got it covered. I'm sure Natalie is one of them. She must be. She's shaking her head.
I don't even have an about page.
And I'm very happy that lots of people are going to go away and review their web pages very soon. So do report back. Okay, I will stop sharing that. Thank you very much for listening. My contact details will be in the chat already. There's a whole page on All About You on my website, which is about writing about pages, which you can have a look at. And do connect with me on LinkedIn. I'd love to chat.